Hi, I've put this video together to show you what Power Query is in Excel and give you a sample of why you should be using it. So let's jump in and see what it can do. So here we have an Excel spreadsheet and you'll see there's some data, and I'm just going to go to the other tab down the bottom. So you'll see I've got two tabs here actually. There's one called data there, and I actually just want to see the people who have got the pension scheme in the company. So what I want to do is see the yeses. Now I'm just going to show you this other tab. I've put a second arrow there so you can see it. So if we click on pension yes, this is the data I've extracted, and Power Query can do this really quickly. No copy and paste, no auto filter. It's so good. So let me show you how I did it. Hopefully that'll give you an idea of what it can do and its power, and then you can maybe have a go. Right, so let's go back to the data. Got to make sure my cursor's on my data. I tend to make my data a table first, so remember Control and T. And this is quite a good one for just checking it recognises your data. So here we go. Here's my data, it's pit range, and my data has headers. Yes, it does. Choose OK. Okay, so it's now a table. Right, so let's go into Power Query. Now this can be found in the data menu at the top from table range. Okay, and what you get into is this portal which looks like Excel, but it isn't really Excel. This is a preview, so don't try and edit in this range because it won't work. So if I had to click on things and start typing, it doesn't edit, but what it allows me to do is see all the data. Now give you a quick tour. So I put this in a PowerPoint slide, it's much easier to explain. So you've got a preview of your data, that's there. On the right hand side you've got your query name, and that's here, and that's the thing we're going to do first. And then just underneath the query name it says applied steps, so everything we do is going to be listed here. So let's go back into Power Query and see that in action. Okay, first thing we'll do is name it. So I'm going to go across to the top right and I'll just show you where I am. Over here in the properties box, I'm just going to put a name. Now I tend to use the words, the initials QRY, short for query, and I'm going to call this pension yes. And that enables me to identify what I've done. Okay, so that's the first thing, name it first. Now what we want to do is we want to get rid of some of the columns we don't need, because there's a lot of information here that is irrelevant. This is really easy, and it's actually something that's quite difficult to do with sort and filter. So we're going to go up to this box here that says choose columns. Okay, so if we go to choose columns, and it brings up all my columns with tick boxes. So all I need to do is I've unticked them. I'm going to tick the ones I need. So I need first name, last name and pension. Choose OK, and there we are. How long would that take you in sort and filter, removing each column individually? Now I only want the yeses, so all I need to do is go over to the pension column, click on the drop down and untick no, a bit like you would do normally. Choose OK, and there we go. And just to make it really helpful, I'm going to sort by last name, so let's do that as well. So click on the drop down for last name and we're going to choose sort ascending. So again, when I get the data out the other end, it's going to be much more usable. So there we go, we've got our data. I've got rid of the columns I don't need, I've sorted it in the order I do want it to do, and all I need to do now is in the top left there is a close and load button. There it is, close and load. Thinks about it, and here's the data. So you can see I've got everybody who has got a pension. Now if I come back down the bottom to my data tab where my data was, this is where it gets really good. So I'm going to change one of the records. So let's look at Ron here. There's Ron Hughes, and at the moment he's not in the pension scheme, but let's say he decided to come into the pension scheme. So let's pop him in. Okay, you've got to watch. One thing about Power Query is it is case sensitive, so do be careful that you're using the same capitals, lowercase as you've just done in the query. We talk more about this on the course. Okay, so let's come over to my query. So down the bottom there it is, query pension yes, and I'm just going to point at the data, right click and choose refresh, and if we look down the list, I hope it's there, There he is, there's Ron. Okay, so unlike a sort and filter, which is a very much a flat, once you've filtered, once you've cut and pasted it, it's not linked. This is linked to the data and we can update it. So I can pull through new data, I can pull through changed data. The other advantage is it doesn't affect the raw data, so I can go back to the raw data. I could do another query. I don't ever use sort and filter at all unless it's a very simple one. I take stuff straight into Power Query. Have a go at this. We do an introduction course on this. There's a lot more in it. You can use it to consolidate sheets, you can use it to consolidate files, you can use it to tidy up data. There's so much you can do, but I wanted to show you this just so you've got a little starting point and you can see the power of Power Query. So as you can see, I'm very excited about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and do contact us if you want to know more, if your colleagues want to know more. Would love to hear from you, and tell everyone about this tool because not many people know about it and it's so good. Just give you our contact details. Okay, so if you want to get in touch, here's my email address, our website and our phone number, and we're on all the social media platforms as well. Thanks very much for watching.